Morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We're really excited to announce our new head baseball coach, and thrilled to have him say a few words to you and then address the media today. Before we get started, I do need to thank a few people. There's a lot of folks involved when you go through a head coach hiring like this. We have a committee of folks who meet and vet a lot of the candidates, do a lot of behind-the-scenes work to kind of investigate, talk to candidates, talk to people in the industry, and it did a heck of a job for us to narrow our search and to identify what we believe is one of the finest people and one of the finest coaches in America. But I do want to thank them by name: Andrea Pearson, Rhonda Bennett, Maureen Marshall, Jennifer Grogan, Rory Hickok, and certainly appreciate it. I also want to thank some people in the baseball community, the baseball profession, that, as you'd imagine, when we have a high-profile hire like this, when we have a big job like this, you hear from people all around the country that have some input or have some candidates that they want you to take a look at. And what was really interesting is people kept on talking about the same person, and it was fascinating to me. They kept on coming back to TJ and the same person. And there's some really influential people that I want to thank, and clearly that starts with John Savage. Coach Savage was amazing throughout the process. In helping us. He cares so deeply about this program. He cares so deeply about this community, and certainly about the sport of baseball. Phil Nevin, the manager for the Reno Aces, who's obviously a good friend of the Wolfpack, and obviously a great leader in our community in the sport of baseball as well. He reached out to me as well and said the same thing: is there is one person you need to talk to, and his name's TJ Bruce. And even early on in the conversation, Phil wanted me to make sure we were talking to TJ and just talked about how this is just a man of a great character and a heck of a baseball coach. So obviously I want to thank Jay Johnson and Gary Powers as well. These are two men. Gary, obviously over 31 plus years, built the foundation for this great program. And Gary was incredibly helpful through this process in identifying candidates and talking about people in the baseball community that are important for me to get in touch with. And then Jay, as we all know, really ignited the program over the last 2 years and put a lot of energy, new energy into the program, and re-energized our community around Wolfpack baseball. And he was actually influential too in this process, and was very helpful in identifying candidates and talking to people who were out there that he knew were really strong and really solid people we should be talking to. So very appreciative of those folks, and frankly many others. There were many of our staff members that met with candidates, and just grateful for all of you for participating in this. So TJ Bruce, the conversation about why you select a certain coach, why you select a certain person to join your staff and join your team. And the thing that we identified early on at TJ, and it really came out through a lot of our friends in the baseball community, a lot of friends frankly in college athletics, not even in just the baseball community, was his character. And I say that on point because it wasn't about his recruiting reputation, which he's renowned for. It wasn't about his coaching experience, which he's obviously well known and well versed in. But his character came out over and over again about this is a quality person. This is a man of high character. His care and concern for his family is the utmost, most important thing in his life. And as we got to know TJ, that came out over and over and over again. Care and concern for his family, where he wanted to be with his life, where he wanted to be in his career, and it just came out character, character, character. And that's so important to us in Wolfpack Athletics. That's so important to us at this university. And frankly, it matches what we are in this community. And it speaks to what we do in this community, looking out for each other, taking care of our families. And so I knew right from the start that even if he didn't know much about baseball, this is a guy who could fit in Reno. This is a guy who could fit at this university. And this is a guy who would fit as the leader of Wolfpack baseball because he's a man of great character. Secondly, and this is where it becomes maybe a little more obvious that TJ is a fantastic fit for us, he has this huge reputation in recruiting circles. He is well known, certainly throughout the West Coast, and highly regarded. And again, it goes back to recruiting is about relationships, and relationships are about having true character. And everyone I talk to, coaches at all different levels, players, they quality of his character came out again about his recruiting reputation. And that speaks volumes. When you're talking to parents about sending their son away to college, and someone who's going to spend hours and hours and hours training and preparing and traveling and being around, being mentored by a person, mom and dad want to know if that head coach, if that person's going to be a man of character. And I heard that throughout the recruiting conversations about TJ. And lastly, the ability to coach. And the ability to coach, sometimes when you look at someone who hasn't been a head coach before, what you do is you look at their mentors. You look at who's taught them what they know, who they've been around, because a lot of times, even just being in the room with a guy like John Savage, you just absorb knowledge. You just absorb his experience. And when you spend 5 years coaching for a guy like John Savage, and when you spend other years coaching at Long Beach and other places, you absorb a lot of knowledge, and you know that this person is ready to lead a program, ready to be a head coach. And I heard that from John, and I heard that from other people in the industry, that TJ is ready to be a head coach and has the experience and knowledge to lead a program. So ultimately, this is a person who understands the mission of higher education. This is a person who understands the mission and the direction, the values of Wolfpack Athletics. This is the person that will be a mentor, a guide, and a leader for our young men in this program for many years to come. And I couldn't be more proud to introduce our new head baseball coach, Mr. TJ Bruce. Come on up, TJ.
Well, thank you. What an honor to be here in front of you. I'm going to try to stay on track first and foremost. A lot of emotion has filled, me and my family the last 24 hours, really. First off, I would like to thank the President, Mark Johnson, Nevada Board of Regents, and obviously our Athletic Director, Doug Knuth, for this great opportunity. I couldn't be more thrilled to be your head baseball coach. I couldn't be more thrilled to bring my family into this wonderful community. Doug, I want to thank you again on a personal note for showing faith and taking a chance on me. I won't let you down as being the leader of Wolfpack Baseball. I don't have any other words really to describe how this feels, really, except to tell you I have great excitement about serving the University of Nevada. To all former players and their families, I am standing on solid rock because of all your hard work and cannot thank the alumni enough. I will make you proud. To students and the faculty for their enthusiasm that you have shown, not only me, but really my family. You guys have welcomed my family with open arms. I cannot be more thrilled to bring my family and to raise them in such a great community. A little tough, but my family, my wife, she's unbelievable. She's a saint. She's been with me since the 6th grade, believe it or not. So now, why she puts up with me, I don't know. I'm not sure. To my 3 kids, and 1 on the way, actually. We're actually expecting our 4th in about 4 weeks. So God bless her and myself. To my 3 kids, 2 of them are here, Rowan and Harlow. I got a 4-year-old, Rowan, 5-year-old Rowan, 4-year-old Harlow. I got a 20-month-old, Jackson is at home. And then, obviously, we're going to have a newborn. So thank you. Coach Savage. Special time that I spent with 5 years with Coach. He's been a great deal to me, my personal development. We've had some special times there in the last 5 years, and I cannot thank him and the Savage family enough. Coach took a chance on me again 5 years ago, coming from Long Beach State. I was at Long Beach State for 5, came to UCLA for 5, and he took a chance and he gave me an opportunity, and I cannot thank him enough for the opportunity, for allowing me to not only learn under him, but work alongside him for the last 5 years. That has prepared me for this opportunity. A few others I want to thank: Mike Weathers, who I played for, Dave Snow, the founder of Dirtbag Baseball, Those of you that are familiar with dirtbag baseball, it's Long Beach State. Phil Nevin and I have a lot of history. Phil's been great to me, great to my family. Andy Stankiewicz, another big person in my life. He's the head baseball coach at Grand Canyon University. He's been right alongside me through thick and thin. He actually called me yesterday morning and goes, "Why have you not accepted this job yet?" I'm still confused. Joe DeRico, for a lot of you that know him, he's been great. He's worked closely with me the last few weeks and really the last few days. I can't thank Joe enough. Troy Tulowitzki, a good friend of mine. We played together. He's actually my daughter's godfather, Rowan, the oldest. He called me last night, and he actually lives in Vegas. I told him we won't hold that against him. We'll get him over here to Reno. And my friends and family back home. I couldn't do anything without you guys. Want to thank Gary Powers. Gary Powers for building the program and the foundation for what Nevada baseball is and what it stands for. Want to thank Jay Johnson. Jay and I go way back as assistants together, recruiting battles, and a lot of Outback dinners on the road. I'm proud to be following in their footsteps. We come in here with high expectations. Nevada baseball is coming off a 41-win season. I'm looking to build off that 41-win season. I think we have to keep the momentum rolling. I think the only way to do that, we're going to do that collectively as a team. We're going to do that, with the staff, with players, myself, with all the support from academics, all the way through administration. That's the only way we're going to do this together. We expect to compete for the top players on the West Coast. We're not going to shy away from anybody. We're gonna sink our teeth in on the recruiting side and really build, like I said, off the momentum that we have established, that Coach Powers and that Jay has established here. We're going to compete for Mountain West Conference championships. We expect to make it to the NCAA tournament. We expect to make it beyond just making it to the tournament. That's the expectation we're going to have here, and nothing other than that will be accepted around here. We play in a competitive conference. If a young player wants a chance to play at a high level and have an opportunity to play and earn a great education and play professionally, this is the place to go. I've been fortunate enough to be around a lot of good people in my past, a lot of great programs in my past, and I'm just looking forward to continuing that and giving these players this opportunity to not only earn an education here, but to further keep Nevada on the map. A little bit about me and my philosophy. I come from a strong pitching and defense background. That's what it is. Now, those here will say we play in a little higher altitude, so we want to hit, and I understand that. We will be built off pitching and defense. If you go back to all the great teams and all the great coaches in this room, the one thing that always comes to mind is defense, pitching. And for us, it's pitching and defense. You go back to the Ravens winning the Super Bowl, a few years ago. It was all about defense. You go back to the Patriots winning the Super Bowl this past year. What was the biggest play in the game? A defensive interception. You go back, and I go back a while to the 2007 Rockies, who played in a high altitude, who was a pretty offensive park, obviously, led Major League Baseball in fielding percentage. So we are going to play defense, and we are going to pitch here. Like I said, with that in mind, I also understand that this conference is more offensive than most. And due to the altitude, I know we do have to come in here and we have to be offensive. So I think collectively, if we can do all pitching, defense, and have some offense, I think there's going to be great things for Nevada baseball. Lastly, I'm truly honored to join this community and everyone welcoming me and my family with open arms. It has been a tremendous, tremendous last few days. It's been an emotional last few days, but I cannot thank everybody enough here for welcoming me, my family, my kids. We're ready to get this thing started. My wife, we're ready to move into this community, and I can't thank you guys enough for welcoming us with open arms. Go Wolfpack. Well, a little bit. It always, you always have, as you go through this process and programs, and really for us West Coast guys on the West Coast, I think Jay did a fantastic job the last 2 years. Obviously with his recruiting, and obviously the roster that he has been able to put together. But not only that, but showing Nevada and showing the West Coast that Nevada is a baseball community. Nevada is here to stay, and that was a big deal. And he showed that a lot can be done here in Nevada. And with this roster coming back, with the recruits that have been committed here to play this 2015 class, I expect nothing but great things from them. I expect nothing but the best, and their great effort. And I think collectively with our staff that we're going to put together as experience and these players, I think the sky's the limit for us. Well, I don't know if it's really me. I think it's more about, and Doug and I talk about this all the time the last few days, it's really about relationships, and it's not only about myself, it's about the people that I've surrounded myself with. And that's what it's about. If you don't have good people around you, if you don't have relationships, you're not going to be, your program's not going to be what you want it to be and what you envision it to be. So, I think through that, we're going to continue to build relationships, especially, through the states on the West Coast. Continue to have the relationships in California, of course. But like I said, I'm just looking forward to surrounding myself with great people, and I think I've done that, especially here at Nevada. Well, really, it's about family first and foremost. That was the biggest thing. The job was a no-brainer when it was offered to me. I told my wife when Doug offered me the job, I said I wanted to take the job right then and there when he offered it to me. But I need to make sure my family was good to go. Being away from home as much as I am, I actually came home the day Doug called me. I came home from a 14-day road trip. So being away, that was the first and foremost. And I wanted this community. I wanted them to see my family. That's why we hopped in a car at 5 o'clock in rush hour traffic 2 days ago to drive up here. I wanted them to see the community, and I wanted the community to see my family. But that was the biggest thing, and I think this is such a great community to raise a family. I cannot be more impressed with the welcoming, the open arms. I feel like I've been here for 10 years in terms of people, smiling faces. So that was obviously one of the big deals. And then secondly, to work for a great athletic department that I think is on the rise. I mean, if you look at the coaches who we have hired here in Nevada, it is nothing. Everything's trending up. Nothing but the best. And those were the two biggest deals. Well, hopefully I won't cry again and be emotional talking about Coach. He loves Reno. I talked to the paper this morning, and the one thing he said is, "What does Coach Savage think about Reno?" Or I think it was, how does he feel about Nevada? And I said, the only thing I can describe is he loves Reno, and that was the one thing he told me. He goes, "You are gonna flourish here. This is a great community. People will love you. You will love people here. Your kids, it's nothing but the best to raise your family here." That in itself right there, coming from such a highly regarded person, obviously in our industry, in fact, probably the best. That's really what our conversation and how it took place the last few days. And then I made the call to him last night, and we talked for actually about an hour and a half. So a little bit of no dry eyes actually, but it was great. It was a great conversation, and I'm glad that I have his backing. The biggest thing I think is experience. I know this team had some older guys last year that have went on to now new things, playing professionally, graduating. But I think the biggest deal is experience. They did have a lot of freshmen that played last year. The biggest thing I will always tell our teams is you have to use your experience, and that was something that Coach Savage told me is you have to use your experience now in terms of how to handle things, how to go about leading team, how to lead a staff. But I'm looking forward to the experience that not only that this team has, but that we'll have for the next few years. I believe it's a good mix of young and old. I believe there's a lot of pitching. I believe there's a lot of position players. I think it's a really good balance. I'm pretty familiar with them. Being a West Coast guy, being a California guy, there's a lot of West Coast guys. So there's a good balance. And like I said, this team cannot look back. It needs to look forward and continue to build off 41 wins and get to where we want to get to. Oh, it's like I said, the whirlwind of emotions. It's something that you work for. It's really a dream come true, in my opinion. It's you wake up every day, with goals in mind. And I am fortunate for this community. I'm fortunate for University of Nevada that they have allowed me to fulfill my dreams of being a head baseball coach. And not only just to be a head baseball coach, but to be the head baseball coach at University of Nevada, Reno. And such a great community, such a great athletic community. I'm looking forward to getting started.